So, quick retraction. If you've heard me say that the Egyptians couldn't cut these stones out of the quarries with copper hand tools, that they were too heavy to be slid along the sand, I was wrong. 3 of us this afternoon pushed this in, delivered off of a truck. We wet the ground, wet the grass, all the way up to here, and it was pushed with a little hydraulic press right onto the grass, and honestly, we couldn't stop it. I thought it was going to smash into this board and just take stuff out. But luckily, it slowed down when it hit the concrete. Even though it was wet, I mean, it still slid. Not really, not really. Not really at all. So, a bit of this.
To explain how exactly this monumental stone structure was built over 45 centuries ago. The fact that it remains the tallest man-made structure for about 4 millennia
Giza.
is almost unbelievable. It's no wonder that the engineering required to build all those massive stones so high is a problem that has fascinated humanity throughout history. So interesting is the question of how the pyramid was built that there are more theories about its construction than I can manage to keep track of. This tradition of inquiry goes all the way back to Greek historian Herodotus in 450 BC, who remains the earliest written account explaining a method of its construction.
Now, it's all lies, okay? Where's your evidence? How do you know? 2.3 million of these, okay? I'm not sure what it is, right? Why people are believing the stupid stuff, the impossible stuff, when the alternative is obvious. Common sense, logic, right? It's just, we are on the verge, right, of insanity. Not me, you, right? For being convinced that the Egyptians had something to do with carving things like this out of any quarry with copper hand tools, right? Now, copper, this is steel. One of these would be better. I'd rather have one of these than 20 copper hand tools. Alexa, how strong is copper?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, copper is a weak metal with a tensile strength of about half that of mild carbon steel.
Right.
This explains why copper is easily formed by hand, but is not a good choice for structural applications.
It's almost as if, right, they've said to themselves, let's see how ridiculous, what kind of lies we can get away with this lot, right? Because it's just ridiculous, right? And the speed of light radiating from the sun, right? It can't be measured. It's a star, right? But this is the first one. It's almost as if they've said, how stupid can we get? What can we make these people believe, right? It has to be, because the Egyptians could not. You just heard, you must know about copper. How on earth, right, were they supposed to carve the equivalent weight of 65 Nimitz class aircraft carriers or over 108,000 main battle tanks with copper hand tools, right? It should just be no. These people, this is where the crimes are being committed as well. These people, the way they talk about these things, right? I'd love to know where down the line, right, the person is who knows and who is lying and who is getting everybody else to believe this crap, right? Because there has to be this academia. Who are these people? Who are these people that think they floated these up? They floated them. It's like an escalator of water. You've seen the theories. But the thing is, there are a lot of people that believe it, right? it's ridiculous. It's just insane. I'm not saying, it's the people that are believing these ridiculous claims. Like,
Herodotus claims
fast forward.
external rank would only reach about 1/3
Ramps.
up the pyramid and be responsible for transporting the heaviest granite and limestone beams that make up the ceilings of the upper chamber. The grand gallery opposite the external ramp could leverage its size and slope to hold counterweights on a sled. The weighted sled would use ropes to connect the largest blocks and assist hauling them upwards. Following completion of the king's chamber, the internal ramp would facilitate the building of the upper 2/3 of the pyramid without needing an excessively large external.
Well, that was a fluke, right? Because that was about, what, 5 minutes in. So I just pressed fast forward. Because talking about the king's chamber, right? In the king's chamber, there are blocks of granite that weigh between 25 and 80 tons, right? So forget this, right? 80 tons of cut block granite. How, people, right? This is the benchmark for common sense. If you cannot get this, if you don't understand that they're lying to you about this, right, then you will fall for everything else that's fucking mentioned, right? It is just a fact. The foundation stones, they're now seeing, they've been there all along, right? On the Giza plateau, they're calling them tiles, right? There's stones, slabs, weighing hundreds of tons. The bottom of Giza has some, right, as well. It's almost like, this stuff has always been there, but it's almost as if they've kind of been hiding it and they're just bringing it out bit by bit. There's a little bit that I wanted to read, right? Listen to this. You've got to understand, right, that this, what I'm about to read, is a lie, right? This is absolute rubbish. So listen to this. In 2013, rolls of papyrus called the Diary of Merera were discovered, written by a supervisor of the deliveries of limestone from Tura to Giza in the 27th year of Khufu's reign. So what they're saying is they've got these papyrus things, right, that explain how they were built, that explains the deliveries, that people were delivering stones. These are lies. They're liars. They're liars because you can see the size of these things, right? 80-ton granite blocks, foundation stones weighing hundreds of tons, right? The Valley Temple, I think it's to the east. I've never been, but you can see, you can understand what a stone is, can't you, people, right? There's some blocks are weigh 200 tons, and there's these pillars, and they've got these other pillars running along horizontally, just resting on top of the ones that are going up and down vertically. How on earth are people so as to believe the Egyptians had something to do with this? Of all things that they said that Egyptians used, copper hand tools. Can you not see? And then you can find megaliths, right? Massive man-made cut stone structures, temples, the Stonehenge type circular. There is all sorts of megalithic action on the planet, right? Egypt, Peru, Japan, UK, France, Spain, Indonesia, Africa, Morocco, South Korea, Armenia, Malta, Portugal, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Scotland, Turkey, Lebanon, India, Bosnia, Ireland, Russia, Italy, and more, and more, and more. In fact, it would have been easier to say which countries don't have megaliths. it is so obvious that there was a civilization here, an ancient civilization on this planet, everywhere on this planet, right? Who were really good with stone, right? We're really good at destroying each other. These people, or whoever they were good at using stone, right? They knew how to manipulate stone. They didn't manipulate each other. They probably did at some stage. It's only, I was going to say human nature to be an asshole, but anyway. So it doesn't get much more obvious, right? To spot a lie, to spot one of the big lie, than the mystery of the pyramids, right? Because there has never been anything so obvious. Something that can't be done, right? That you don't need to even go and have a look. You don't need a calculator. You don't need a pen and paper. You don't need anything. It should take anybody with a moderate amount of common sense about 60 seconds to work out. Somebody who had never heard about these pyramids, right? But who understood weights and this and that and the other. It should take 60 seconds on hearing all the information, how big they are, and the alleged how they were built, who built them, how long ago, to go, don't be ridiculous, right? Because that's what this is, it's ridiculous. It really is. I'm not sure what else there is to say. This is one of the biggest lies, right? Speed of light as well, moon. But this is the one that everybody should be able to work out on their own, right? It really is. And if you can't because of your ego, right? That's human nature, then you're battling with yourself, right? But those people who can change their mind on hearing new information that contradicts something that they believe in should change their mind, right? And then pay attention to other lies, because some lies, right? Why on earth have they got everybody looking in the sky, right? Why on earth have they got everybody looking in the sky? Just distractions, right? This is where everything is happening. This is where it happened. And yeah, I don't know what else there is to say on this. There's only so much flogging of a dead horse that one can do. How long are we looking at? 30 minutes. Let's listen to some more of the rubbish, shall we? Still got a few minutes.
Ramp. These two concepts, an internal spiral ramp and the grand gallery counterweight opposite an external ramp, are Houdin's most important ideas. His construction model has other details,
No
and
common
we'll
sense.
analyze some of those as well, but the ramp design and counterweights are the core of his theory. These two main ideas solve some of the largest problems faced by the builders of the Great Pyramid. The internal ramp removed...
Do you know what this is? It's like the other lot inventing theoretical particles to explain something, to explain how something is, or why something does this, or does that, or does the other. That is all that's happening here. You've got people talking absolute rubbish about something that is impossible. They're trying to find a logical solution to something that it's not logical for our era, right? So it's never gonna happen, right? It's gonna be this mystery. It's not a mystery, it's fucking obvious, right? It really is obvious that the Egyptians had nothing to do with the pyramids, right? And these people that keep pushing these theories, they should not be able to make these programs, right? Where's the fact checker, right? Honestly, this is where the crime is being committed. People are believing the absurdities because they're being hammered with them from day one. How do you get out of it? I can understand it if you've been told this all your life, but you've got to understand that this cannot get carved out of any quarry with copper hand tools, right? I'm gonna go now because I've already let slip a couple of F-bombs. I don't need to get into that kind of behave myself lately. Sometimes you just gotta say, fucking you. Later, peeps.